guys, and we're already off to a really good start. Welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite amateur racer, probably Unroyal, and I'm doing some GT2 right now, so right out of the gate, massive pile up. Not really how you'd want to start a race, but guess that's what happens when you let a lot of newer players join up into the game. Seems like a lot of new people are showing up, giving it some giving the game some love. That's what it seemed like. Got a little love tap by Gene there. Going through a Poggio Secco, or I think this is a Borgo San Lorenzo. No, never mind. That's the next set of corners. By the way, it looks like a lot of people got spun out, and I'm about to be one of them. Von Wolf deciding to, yeah, you were in my way. I'm just gonna take you out. Well, at least he got a 2-second penalty for it, but anyways. Looks like I'm not the only one who got all messed up. We got Whisk2M there, who is struggling to keep that Porsche under control. I think after that he just up and disconnects. I'm not quite sure what Kane's Wi-Fi was doing there. He might have gotten kicked off the track or something, but who knows. But anyways, we're pretty much just going to be going over the entire race, guys. I'm going to try out a new format for the editing, mainly due to the fact that I am working 56-hour work weeks, and, of course, since Forza's future is unknown at the moment, it'll give me a little bit more time to try out some other racing games, like Wreckfest 2. Been trying to get into Assetto Corsa Competizione and stuff like that, so like I said, hopefully this format works. We'll see. I'll cover more of the races. Well, more of what happens in a race, even though a bunch of people were messing up on the track. It looked like a couple sandcastles were being made and such like that. Now, we got a BMW and a Porsche side by side by the looks of it. It looks like BMW's trying to get some draft on them. I'm just trying to take the defensive line, trying not to get too caught up in that squabble as of right now. And I do have to brake just a little bit more there due to the fact that the BMW, he kind of seemed like he was going to just run right into me, not going to lie. So, and I've already gotten spun out once, so I didn't want to risk that again. BMW makes sandcastles. I go off course there, get a little bit of a penalty, no big deal. Do miss my braking point there, though. Go off track once again. Gene is doing some drifting there. Luckily, no penalty here. I'm going to crack open my Pepsi real quick. That way, my vocal cords don't give out on me too quickly. Almost into the back of the Porsche there. Luckily, I was able to stay on the brakes quite nicely. Going into Arrabbiata. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that one right. Gene being a little bit of a loose cannon on the road. I went to go for a pass. I'm not sure if maybe he was trying to block me or not, or if maybe he was just trying to get his car under control, and that's where his car ended up. But either way, I did end up going into the back of him, had to back off just enough to not spin him out. Now we got a SPV Makuro behind me. Joining us in this nice little battle. Going through Biondetti. And Busine now. This is where I kind of start learning Gene's, excuse me. A lot of phlegm in my throat. But this is where I kind of start learning Gene's in the Porsche. Gene 7TT. This guy driving the Porsche. Started learning his strengths and weaknesses. Seems like certain corners he's got me, but when it comes to straight line speed, I've got him. And he turns right into me, and I get penalized for it. I'm not sure if maybe the game counted that as a dive bomb or not, which, of course, you guys in the comments section, you guys can let me know whether it was truly my fault or not. I'm not going to make a call on it. That's just how I decided to say, hey, look, this is what I've seen. What do you guys think and such like that? Going into Materassi and Borgo San Lorenzo. Trying to catch up to Makuro right now, even though clearly messing up some of these corners. And someone just quit. Du Carrillo, I think it was the name. And of course now I got Gene trying to stay as behind me as he possibly can. I think he sees the 2 seconds in penalties that I've got, so he's probably trying to just stay within that little penalty range. Going into Scaperia. Again, hopefully I'm pronouncing these turn names right. I could be mistaken. But also I am using a Grim Legion Gaming's tune for the C7 Corvette. He's got a Discord server where he's got a lot of his tunes open and such like that. Didn't really do much GT2 when they were doing all the BOP updates, so I kind of sat back, let the communities figure them out, and I decided, you know what, let's try this one out. I see he's very successful and such like that, so using this tune, I might make it a little bit more planted, maybe add some downforce on the rear wing or something. Not too much. I still want to keep the back end as floaty as I possibly can, due to the fact that's simply just what you want in GT cars. Going into San Donato. I'm trying to close the gap between me and Makuro. There's only 0.05 of a second in penalty. Well, now he's got a little bit more of a penalty in the range. 0.75 seconds of a penalty difference between the two of us. So as long as I'm able to stay 7/10 behind him, I should have 12th place. Going into, I think, yes, Borgo San Lorenzo once again. Staying within his draft, trying to catch up. And I think this is where my mistake really cost me, because he does start pulling away. Getting a little too much curb there. And going into Arrabbiata, this is where he really starts pulling away. Again, I don't really have these corners figured out in this car. And to be honest, I think this is only the second or third race I was in this car, after retuning it and all that. So, also, you can't really get the build or anything like that in free play or anything like that. Turn 10 decided to make it to where you only get these build specs in the GT racing spec. But anyways, I do mess up was this Biondetti really bad, making some sandcastles, taking a little beach vacation, trying to get it recovered, get a little too trigger happy on the gas. I do end up getting a little bit more disappointed in myself than anything, hence why my little fit there, in case you guys were paying attention to the webcam. Happens to the best of us. But now we gotta re-chase down Gene 7 Twin Turbo. Luckily, I know I've got him on straight line speed, and luckily Mugello has a lot of straights in the track, like that main one that I was just on. In fact, after Luco and Poggio Secco, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Almost spun the car out there right then and there. But there's a straight here, and then of course going through Materassi and Borgo San Lorenzo, we got another straightaway. So as long as I can keep the car under control, I think I should be able to catch up to Gene. A little bit of a video glitch there. Not quite sure what caused that. I'm pretty sure it was during the recording process. I am using my streaming software to get the footage anymore, just so you guys can see that I am on a wheel and such like that. My preferred method of racing anymore. And of course, I don't want to go to a controller, make it seem like I'm that fast, when in reality, I'm really not. So, you know, stuff like that. Anyways, going around, what is this, Corrientao? Going into Biondetti. Still kind of learning, this section. Again, I was never quite good at it. I always let off the gas there when the pros simply don't. And of course, another little video glitch there. Not quite sure what happened during this little recording, but seems like a lot of random freezings. So bear with me on that one. I do try to cut those out, but unfortunately, it's just something that I can't really do anymore. Well, I can do it. It's just that I kind of want to change up the editing format. And by changing up the editing format, I mean maybe just cutting out the pit stops and doing one long voiceover and basically try to do the voiceover in one take and all that. Ramble on. Stuff like that. Anyway, 6 seconds behind Gene. I can already tell this is going to be a bit of a challenge talking for 20 minutes straight. And slowly catching up. Just going around Casanova and going into Savelli. And my tires should last one more lap. I think I don't really go into the pits until I start the 8th lap. So, at the end of lap 7, we're going to go ahead and do that as I completely beach the Corvette. Just not my day. You guys can't see it, but when I came home, bought a 6-pack of Angry Orchards. I think by the time I did this race, I was half of one in, maybe 3/4 of a drink in, so we could blame the bit of alcohol I had when I was doing this racing. I don't condone drinking and driving. Let me say that now. I do not condone it. Do not get pulled over for drunk driving and say, well, some kid on, well, not some kid. Some idiot on the internet told me, hey, look, he did it while racing. This is virtual space, not real life. Some people seem to forget that. Anyways, we got people in the pits right now. Looks like they are just now exiting. I thought I could have caught up to them, but turns out that's not going to be the case. So, no, fun like that. Fun like that. Got minor tire wear going into San Donato right now. So the car's gonna get slightly more squirrely as we go through. In fact, I think the right side of the tires go here in a couple turns. Excuse me. Pepsi was fighting back. Going into Materassi and Borgo San Lorenzo. Slowly catching up to MT10 Rippin'. Something tells me his tires are just that cold still, so that's probably why I'm able to catch up to him as well as I am. But of course, going down Savelli, that's when I start losing some time on him. Mainly due to the fact that my tires don't have as much grip as they used to. Simply due to the fact that they are now at minor tire wear. And for those that have done a lot of GT racing, or even touring class racing, you would know the moment you go from white to yellow, you really feel the difference because your car just slides almost everywhere. But anyways, we're going around Coriancho. Again, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I could be completely butchering it. I think pretty much getting Biondetti's down at this point, or at least get more comfortable in it. Anyways, now we are about 5.5 seconds behind Gene, and it looks like he's going to pit. We're going to do the same, and I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead our pit stop, because I don't think you guys want to see me navigate through a couple menus. I put on some soft tires. I didn't put in any fuel. Typically, I like to have my fuel tank filled up to however many laps I need. Unless it's in my Trans Am, then I maybe go for another 2 laps, even though I did kind of figure out the shifting in that car. Which, the next video, I'm going to actually showcase the car again. Believe it or not. Just something about the Trans Am. I'm actually really enjoying driving that thing, so Anyways, that's going to be a video that I get the voiceover done later. As I catch up to Gene, who managed to pick up a tenth of a second in penalties. Not quite sure what caused that, but at the same time, we did have a little collision back at San Donato where the game thought it was my fault, so I got 2 seconds. Well, I gotta get at least 2 seconds on him if I want to keep that 13th position from him. Had to take a little swig of Pepsi there. Felt my mouth getting a little dry from all the talking and all the commentary and all that. And keeping Gene within my sight as we go into Biondetti. Had to let off there, otherwise I probably would have beached the car. I don't think I got enough turn in right there. Or I didn't turn in quite soon enough. Sure there was something I'm missing. Probably gonna go back and rewatch this a couple of times just to try and figure out where I can improve on this track at least. Part of the reason why I started doing it in this format as well is kind of rewatch where I'm messing up at and try to fix those mistakes in the future. Kind of like right here, I could have hit the brakes for a little bit longer there as I try to catch up to Gene and get a better turn in and turn exit as we go into Luco and Poggio Secco going into Materassi. I got Gene only a second and a half away. I've got a hair dangling in front of my face. It is messing with my eyeball. Finally got that out of the way now. And going into Casanova. Slowly but surely closing this gap. Trying to pull out all the stops. Take these corners as best I possibly can. Pretty sure there I got too much curb, which is why I didn't quite get a good enough turn in there. But luckily, Arrabbiata 2, I was able to get a pretty good turn in. Not the best exit. Probably could have hit the gas a little sooner, but there I get a lot of curb. Almost lose the back end of the car right then and there. Looks like going into Coriencio. Really closing this gap now, right on his bumper. He's a little squirrely there. I did back off, hit the brakes there, let him on through. Wasn't quite sure what he was going to do there. For all I know, he could have tried to brake check me or something. And personally, I didn't want to take that risk. I've been running into that a lot here as of late, as well as seems like a lot of toxic drivers are making a return. And of course, if I do see him, I will call him out, but seems like a lot of the time anymore, it's just someone will brake check you, spin you out, something like that. But anyways, I hit the brakes a little late there. I go for a switchback. Wasn't quite sure what my voice was doing there for a second. But Gene was able to close off my move there pretty quickly. Both get a really good exit getting out of Poggio Secco. Going into Materassi, he is sliding all over the place. I'm going into Borgo San Lorenzo, just trying to put as much pressure on him as I possibly can. Trying to get him to make a mistake. He is not exactly the most stable going through these corners, and I'm trying to really make that... Well, I'm trying to use that to my advantage. Getting right onto his back bumper there. Almost going into him, but able to hit the brakes just in time where I don't slam him off the track or anything like that. Going into Scapiera. I'm trying to go in on the inside, a little love tap. We're now side by side going into Pelagio. Finally getting around him, going into Korean Chow on lap 10. He is on my bumper, and now the goal is try to get as far away from him as possible. I need 2 seconds, or 2.2 seconds actually, my mistake. And he's going to go ahead and mess up Biondetti 2. So that little my plan to try and get as far away from him as possible happened in the span of like 2 seconds. Not gonna lie. But anyways, we got one more lap to go, and like I said earlier, guys, this is probably going to be the new format of the videos from now on. Just working a lot of overtime at work, and on top of that, trying to find a new racing game to play on the channel and such like that. So, gotta try and make time for a lot of that. So, I do apologize if you guys don't like it, but that's just how I'm gonna try and take this moving forward. Like I said, after I finish up this voiceover, I'm gonna go and do a voiceover on a video where I race around in my Pontiac Trans Am, because honestly that was a really good race, and of course it was multi-class, so there's gonna be quite a bit of a action there where I'm dodging the higher classes and such like that. So, you know, fun. And of course I am gonna try and get Wreckfest 2 and Assetto Corsa Competizione on the channel. Gonna continue on with My Summer Car as well. In fact, I was recording that before I did this voiceover. Need to edit that down, because that's like 3 hours of footage that I gotta trim down to anywhere between a half hour to an hour, depending on how many good bits there are. But anyways, that is pretty much just gonna be the end of my little voiceover, guys. If you enjoyed this content, and I know it's a huge change compared to what I normally do, please just pretend I said something corny here to get you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. See y'all later.